Uh, Hello, Ziv. Welcome in DDTM podcast. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself so the listeners know you a little bit better?
Sure, absolutely. First of all, thank you for having me. I'm Ziv. I'm the Chief Customer Officer at AppStyle. I've been at the company for almost 11 years. I started as a senior customer success manager, and a few months after I started, I led the customer success team. A year after, I got the support team. Between 2017 to 2019, I also led the product team in addition to customer success, and since 2020, I'm only the chief customer officer for leading customer success and support. And I love data. I truly love data. So I have a
Awesome.
lot. I have a lot to say.
Can you tell me a little bit about how are you using data for making decisions or making sure that your work is going smoothly right now?
Sure. So first of all, we are a data company. So we are providing measurement for our customers to understand better about their marketing strategy, their marketing budget investment, making decisions with data. And in
Mm-hmm.
our space, in the mobile apps and websites, we are the leader in that market. And also, we are speaking about huge data sets. So it's like it's the majority of the data we are working with is the B2C data of our customers. So we're
Mm-hmm.
speaking about a lot of data. We can also speak about that. In addition to that, in customer success and support, we also have a lot of data. That's I call it
Mm-hmm.
the data that we work with on the product. I call it big data. Our
Mm-hmm.
business data I call small data. It's the
Mm-hmm.
business data. It's still a lot of data, that are
Mm-hmm.
about our customers, their usage, the business data, invoices, payments, etc. There's a lot of data there, and we can speak about a lot about it later. Um, I think that looking at that, there's a lot of great fast decision. Even before AI, we can speak about AI
Mm-hmm.
later. Even before AI, there's like in rule based, and even just looking at the data, you can make great decisions every day with having data in mind.
Mm-hmm. And what problems do you wanted to solve by using data? Like at the beginning, let's imagine for a minute you didn't have all these things you have right now, and what problems you faced or have in your company or working with your clients, which you are trying to solve.
Yeah, I think a lot of the data decisions that you have to make are around one customer experience, improving the
Mm-hmm.
product, improving the how we support the customer, improving the engagement. So it's both on
Mm-hmm.
reactive, mainly in the support team, but also maybe on
Mm-hmm.
the lower tiers of customers, and proactive on the higher tiers of customers. It's also about like what should we invest in? How should we
Mm-hmm.
um, decide on what features to build next?
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of data sits in Salesforce, visualized in Looker, and I will
Mm-hmm.
speak a lot about Salesforce and Looker today. About taking the feature requests from the product, from the customers to the
Mm-hmm.
product side. It's all a funnel and all lives there, and it's accumulated. It's connected to
Mm-hmm.
customers, but it's accumulated on an object for the product. So, for example, if a client asks for a new feature in a dashboard, and then
Mm-hmm.
I have 50 customers asking that. So I know all the 50 customers that asked for that. What is the revenue from them? What is the priority for them having it, etc. So I have a lot of information to decide if I should work on this next quarter or
Mm-hmm.
not.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and how this all is connected? For sure, you have like a lot of probably systems and data sets and different data points. And how are you connecting this all? If you can share it with us.
Sure. So the main source of truth, the main database is for the business is Salesforce.
Mm-hmm.
And then, when I look at the buckets of data, I look at three main buckets. So there's
Mm-hmm.
the business data, which
Mm-hmm.
is the main CRM and also the payment, the invoices
Mm-hmm.
and the payments. Then we have the usage data, which is the mainly
Mm-hmm.
product area.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have also the engagement
Mm-hmm.
area. So in product, you have usage and utilization. And then the engagement area is all around meetings, calls, emails, instant
Mm-hmm.
messaging. When you combine the three, then you are able to
Mm-hmm.
do um, some things, internal dashboards that I cannot share with you here, but I can talk to you about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, very, very interesting things saying, um, here's a customer that is not using product X, but we
Mm-hmm.
believe, rule based even before AI or
Mm-hmm.
machine learning, we believe that that the customer needs to buy this product. A
Mm-hmm.
similar insight will be this customer subscribed to this product, but
Mm-hmm.
stopped using it 3 months ago. So we know
Mm-hmm.
that this customer is subscribed for this product for 6 more months,
Mm-hmm.
paying 60K for it, but not using it.
Mm-hmm.
Another interesting part that was on product usage. Another
Mm-hmm.
interesting good insight is saying, um, usually I talk to John from this account
Mm-hmm.
every 6 days, but
Mm-hmm.
you have not engaged with John for 21 days. So there's something happened there. Again, even
Mm-hmm.
before AI, just from the system to know that again, we had to tweak here something. I had to literally, I built a product over Salesforce to
Mm-hmm.
say that we have people in this account and I have stakeholders in our side, and who is connected to who. Someone had to manually
Mm-hmm.
do it. But when you have that object, then
Mm-hmm.
it's super critical, because now I can say, oh, there was we can have a regular meeting, but we can have a
Mm-hmm.
QBR, which is a critical meeting, and then we can say,
Mm-hmm.
did we get the important person from the customer side, who
Mm-hmm.
was joining from our side, etc. And then
Mm-hmm.
I can also say some things more on the what is the strength of that relationship, how
Mm-hmm.
important is that relationship. And now let me connect it a little bit to another data set.
Mm-hmm.
The business data set is, if I know that John was a part of the last opportunity that we renewed this
Mm-hmm.
customer, then
Mm-hmm.
on a decision making factor is
Mm-hmm.
1 out of 10 importance. So we know that
Mm-hmm.
I haven't engaged with John for 21 days. Usually I engage with him
Mm-hmm.
for 6 days, and he's the most important person
Mm-hmm.
in the decision making. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's critical, that it's in day-to-day decision making of how the
Mm-hmm.
customer success manager works, but this is critical,
Mm-hmm.
especially in enterprise.
Mm-hmm. Do you have some kind of other signals you are using to make prediction about the account? Like, for example, if client wants to see the deal which they signed before, this could be the signal of churn in some cases. But do you have some kind of other different signal you are using?
Absolutely. So we look at too many signals.
Mm-hmm.
So we look at the consumption of the package, and we look at
Mm-hmm.
the usage of the product, and we look at the engagement,
Mm-hmm.
and we look what type of relationships we have or we don't have in the account, and
Mm-hmm.
we look at specific activities like the QBR,
Mm-hmm.
other information that we know about this customer, business desired outcomes, what the customer wants to achieve. If we have all of
Mm-hmm.
that, um, we look at how engaged the customer is from their side as well. So
Mm-hmm.
we know how to look at the engagement of our side and their side.
Mm-hmm.
And then per feature and product, we have, not for all products, but for many products, we have
Mm-hmm.
things that we look for correlation, or
Mm-hmm.
how deep is that customer adopted that product,
Mm-hmm.
etc. And together with all of that, in the end, we give a score.
Mm-hmm.
And then if the score is a little bit lower, you can also see in what category it's
Mm-hmm.
lower, etc. And then in another dashboard, we look at the
Mm-hmm.
potential. So from those points, so the
Mm-hmm.
score that I just spoke about shows the risk. We also
Mm-hmm.
have the score that shows the potential.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is interesting. Do you have something like, for example, you have clients you think will churn, and you are seeing them on red, or you are seeing that they probably will churn because of the data you have from different kind of customers from the past, and you probably have some tactics or tasks to do with this kind of clients to make sure that they don't churn. My question is, do you track success of task or tactics you implemented to make sure that, for example, client don't churn?
Yeah. So we have a system that we use to trigger
Mm-hmm.
some of these, and then you have different plays of triggering. So it can
Mm-hmm.
be in some trigger, it can be we look at the customers with potential for upsell. And
Mm-hmm.
then when we look at that funnel, we can see. I can tell you, last time we've done it, we saw that we got then CSMs after created a few dozens of leads for these
Mm-hmm.
accounts with the potential, and we closed a few of those. So
Mm-hmm.
we have a funnel, and we know that the upsells that was closed were from that funnel.
Mm-hmm.
Similar for that, we have a system that even um, that system with that trigger
Mm-hmm.
is in some cases it's triggering the CSM to open a red flag on the account.
Mm-hmm.
In some of the cases, it's even opening automatically a red flag on the account. So if the
Mm-hmm.
consumption of the account is really low, it's not
Mm-hmm.
waiting for the CSM, and it opens the red flag, and then the CSM needs to update the red flag, why it's low, etc., etc., and maybe
Mm-hmm.
some actions to do with it. Sometimes we have a third-party tool to go and
Mm-hmm.
see if our customers are testing the competition.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, we don't wait. We
Mm-hmm.
open the red flag, and the CSM then goes and does some playbook around this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and my question is more about like implementation of the tactics. I understand that this is the funnel, and CSMs are doing their best to make sure that clients are staying. I'm just wondering if you have or you did in the past, or you are planning to do, like you have few buckets of churning clients and few buckets of tactics you are using, and do you compare like what tactics is best for what kind of potential churn, and if you implement this knowledge in the funnel later?
Yeah, so definitely. So some of the analysis that we're doing. So for example, I can tell you for enterprise customers, then we
Mm-hmm.
looked at a lot of the big portion of our ARR,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of customers, the more than 50%. And then
Mm-hmm.
we looked at like what happened to customers that we've engaged with them more. Like you
Mm-hmm.
can say we covered more of the playbook. So we did two
Mm-hmm.
EBRs with them a year, and we completed the business
Mm-hmm.
desired outcome documentation about them, and we have
Mm-hmm.
more than 7 relationships. So we saw that the performance of that group, of that cohort, is much
Mm-hmm.
better. So I
Mm-hmm.
can tell you that like in the current playbook and what I push CSMs in the enterprise to do is that to push them to do that playbook to cover
Mm-hmm.
similar thing to get a better outcome.
Mm-hmm.
And that segment for probably for next quarter, we're going to try to get 100% coverage of the playbook. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Similar, the system that I told you before,
Mm-hmm.
Rupert, it is
Mm-hmm.
triggering that. Looks at in another trigger, looks at the cohort of customers that churned and
Mm-hmm.
trying to get the next ones that will churn.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Trying to get the
Okay.
lookalike companies.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And after you have this information, you can make better decision and better action based on this
Yeah,
knowledge. Okay.
yeah. I think the most important one is when you identify that, then we can first of all open the red flag,
Mm-hmm.
and that triggers the proactiveness. Because in
Mm-hmm.
enterprise, anyhow, we have proactiveness, and we get to it. We do at least part of the playbook.
Mm-hmm.
I think the trigger of red flag in the lower tiers, it's more
Mm-hmm.
important, because if you don't get that, you don't have proactiveness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Uh, let's talk a little bit about the tools and systems you are using. Like, for sure, this is a lot of them. But if you can share with us, like, what tools of systems are you using, and if you could, like, how they are connected, and it will be awesome to know.
Yeah. So I think the main points, the source of truth is Salesforce for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then for visualization, and we invested heavily both in Looker for the
Mm-hmm.
visualization, the BI, and but if you think about like the a lot of the investment we've done is to really
Mm-hmm.
build almost software within Looker and Salesforce.
Mm-hmm.
So we will be able to do that. And I think for me, the focus is a lot of the input, the
Mm-hmm.
documentation of red flags, EBRs, engagement, meetings with customers, getting the gong recording,
Mm-hmm.
getting the presentation, um, the business desired outcomes, the relationship, all that we input and document in Salesforce.
Mm-hmm.
And then with that information and the usage and engagement information, we
Mm-hmm.
join and inner join all those in Looker. And then we
Mm-hmm.
have different flows and dashboards that,
Mm-hmm.
for example, there's a good morning dashboard for the CSM.
Mm-hmm.
They open every day. We have that dashboard probably now
Mm-hmm.
for 5.5 years. So now
Mm-hmm.
that good morning dashboard includes everything that you need to know about the customer. So
Mm-hmm.
when you just go into the main page, you see all the customers of in my book of business,
Mm-hmm.
and you
Mm-hmm.
see the open tickets and some of the smart insights that we provide for
Mm-hmm.
those customers. But you also see from Crunchbase the news about these customers.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go to
Okay.
the smart insights tab, and we have the comp plan
Mm-hmm.
tab. So I know where I'm at in my comp plan. And then I have
Mm-hmm.
my potential tab and the risk tab and the
Mm-hmm.
relationship and engagement tab and more and more. So it's really rich.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually, if you think about it, it's dashboards of dashboards. So
Mm-hmm.
from that dashboard, you get to another dashboard, and then you get an insight that the
Mm-hmm.
action is either to go back to Salesforce and do something, document something, or
Mm-hmm.
trigger a process, or engage with the customer. So,
Mm-hmm.
but the engagement with
Okay.
the customer, because of the insights that you got, it actually tells you what you should. Now you know something, and you need
Mm-hmm.
either to go discover or
Mm-hmm.
fix, engage, and do something with the
Mm-hmm.
customer. Now, um, maybe a little bit of example of something similar that I
Mm-hmm.
said before. Before I said that John, I didn't engage with John for 21 days, and usually
Mm-hmm.
I engage with John for 6 days. The system can also tell you that we know that there is a user that is heavily
Mm-hmm.
using the product, heavily
Mm-hmm.
engaged. Can be email with me or opening Zendesk tickets, etc., etc. And then,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't have a relationship with that user, and then the system
Mm-hmm.
tells you, you know, Ziv, you should build a relationship with Frank, because he's a
Mm-hmm.
heavy user of the product, and because
Mm-hmm.
he's also very engaged with us. And
Mm-hmm.
then me as a CSM, I can then engage with Frank, and then I decide if he's only a valuable user, then maybe I don't need to
Mm-hmm.
maintain a relationship with him.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's a champion, a
Mm-hmm.
decision maker, or an executive, then maybe I
Mm-hmm.
should.
Okay. Thank you for that. I am just wondering how you are making sure that the data is cleaned correctly. Like how you are making sure that everything you are putting into your systems are correct. I know that some companies and some people are struggling with that, so this is like something I would like to know.
So we look at a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure we're a customer, but I know we checked Monte Carlo in the past for
Mm-hmm.
data
Yeah.
observability and stuff like that. We're very concerned about that. I think most of the data validations that we do today, we do internally.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, we're definitely aware of that. And I think, because a lot of the users I'm speaking about, I spoke mainly about
Mm-hmm.
customer success, but we also have support with Zendesk and
Mm-hmm.
also Looker. We know when the data is correct and when the data is incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
Where we need to be more uh, um, aware is when we take data from
Mm-hmm.
outside, from APIs like Data AI,
Mm-hmm.
Crunchbase, and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we're checking that, and we have some process around that. The other area when we need to be very critical about the data is with, and I didn't speak about that. We are bringing
Mm-hmm.
out also a lot of data from our product. So mainly
Mm-hmm.
aggregated comes from mainly Druid, and
Mm-hmm.
then we merge it with some other data points where we saved. In the past, we used BigQuery. Now we use
Mm-hmm.
Amazon. Um, what's the name of it? It's over. Um, I'll get it in a second.
Yeah, yeah. I think like this is like the name probably will come to you in the minute or after the interview, and
Yeah, all good.
if it will be after interview, like we'll just publish it. Okay, so this is it. I am wondering about work do you put in integration of all of the systems. You mentioned Locker, you mentioned Monte Carlo, Druid, BigQuery, and some other things also. And this is like your internal knowledge about these systems, or you are learning them by yourself, or you are using some kind of outside consultants to do the work for you, or you are
So
combining this.
we mainly do it internally. So
Mm-hmm.
if we go 10 years back, then it's a team that I started. It was one developer in CS
Mm-hmm.
operations. And
Mm-hmm.
over time, this team grew and went to be under the COO.
Mm-hmm.
And even that is a few teams. So there's a Salesforce team, and
Mm-hmm.
there's a business product manager team, and
Mm-hmm.
then there's a team that today I think it's half of it is COO, half of it is in engineering that is
Mm-hmm.
doing business
Mm-hmm.
operations. So it's
Okay.
mainly developers, and they
Mm-hmm.
maintain they have a Looker team for sure, and then they
Mm-hmm.
also have some other integration. So we
Mm-hmm.
use Zendesk, so you need also to have
Mm-hmm.
integration with Zendesk. Mainly is internal, mainly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so from where do you have inspiration for this kind of connection between your systems, this kind of data approach? Like this is from problems you have and you are trying to solve them, or this is something you notice something and if this is like the part two, like where do you notice that, and where other people, for example, can learn as you learned
Yeah.
in this journey?
Yeah, I think we learned a lot in the beginning when we had
Mm-hmm.
a much smaller system, and we even like the beginning was proprietary,
Mm-hmm.
and then we decided to go to Looker, and we looked at SizeSense and we looked at other solutions, and in the end we
Mm-hmm.
selected Looker, and I think it was a great decision because Looker, we can use something very, very small for exploring,
Yeah.
and then it works. Then you make a dashboard out of it. And I think also, LookML and some of the other technologies enables you. Yeah, when we started, the BigQuery was fun and easy to work with. And when we moved to Amazon, it was not a smooth move, but was not a bad move. And then
Mm-hmm.
with so many users, we also
Mm-hmm.
now we use acceleration also between
Mm-hmm.
Looker and Amazon, and it works
Mm-hmm.
really, really well. Um, I think also a lot of collaboration in the industry. So, we
Mm-hmm.
have 20 companies similar to us, and we
Mm-hmm.
speak and we understand what they do, and they do it internally, and they do it
Mm-hmm.
outsourcing. Pros and cons, and we decide, okay, we can continue to do it mainly internally, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And also the ideas, and sometimes in that collaboration it's also nice to see and learn about some
Mm-hmm.
challenges that people has, and then not to go there, not to get to that
Mm-hmm.
area and stuff. And yeah, I think it's not always perfect, but I think that in
Mm-hmm.
the majority, we do very well around it, and
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty
Okay, I
successful.
have uh, I have one more question about AI. You mentioned this a little bit, and we concentrated on the data platforms and your system you are using. How you integrated or you're planning to integrate it with AI? If you could give us some kind of examples how you are helping yourselves to do the job better by using AI.
Yeah, so we are very much ahead of the curve. So we are using AI for a long time. Um, we have different projects. So we are on one side we're testing.
Mm-hmm.
We have ChatGPT, the Microsoft version internally, etc.
Mm-hmm.
But we also use a lot of other off the shelf products.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other side, we also try to do some things with the APIs. So try to do
Mm-hmm.
both to look at can we get some solution ready from off the shelf, and what can we do with
Mm-hmm.
that on which area. And on the other side, we have an interesting product project now, and one interesting project in support where
Mm-hmm.
we use AI to, for example, I'll give you the example from support, where we have
Mm-hmm.
probably a couple of hundred of thousands of tickets from the last 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
So when we get a new ticket now, we push that ticket against all the other tickets to get to understand if we can find the recipe solution for that ticket. And
Mm-hmm.
then
Okay.
when we are able to understand what is the area
Mm-hmm.
of this ticket and what were the solutions of the areas of these tickets,
Mm-hmm.
then we provide to the solution to the support engineer the solution recipe. Say, oh,
Mm-hmm.
those are the queries that you might need to run
Mm-hmm.
in the data lake to solve this ticket.
Mm-hmm.
So now the support engineer 2 years ago, they had to go very
Mm-hmm.
really broad and find a solution from their experience, knowledge, etc. Now,
Mm-hmm.
now they get very focused, and they know, oh, it might be this or that query.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Okay, awesome.
that's amazing example for the beginning of AI.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In
Okay,
addition
and
to ChatGPT and just how to
yeah,
write better, faster, whatever.
we all are doing that. So yeah, this is on the day-to-day basic. Okay. Also, we all know that AI will take over the world like in 1 or 2 years. So this could be the mute question. But what do you think would change in the data and AI's landscape in like 1 to 2 years? And do you see any new trends emerging right now, or you are thinking about using them and implementing them to your
Yeah,
workflow?
yeah. I think again, AI can change everything. It depends
Mm-hmm.
how much trust we want to give AI and when. Um, but I think my dream and probably a sentence I say to some startups that I
Mm-hmm.
meet for last 8 years or so, as customer success, I want solutions in addition to improving customer experience, support, etc. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking to see, like, instead of me managing 20 customers with
Mm-hmm.
AI, I believe I can manage 40, 50 customers
Yeah.
with the ability for AI to tell me, one, who is the next customer that I need to engage proactively? Second, when? Third, who in that customer?
Mm-hmm.
Fourth, in what channel? At what time?
Mm-hmm.
And because it's AI, because it has so much knowledge about me and the customer, I think
Mm-hmm.
it can also tell me what I should speak about, what should be the subjects that I
Mm-hmm.
should speak about with that customer. And then
Mm-hmm.
don't send it automatically, that engagement over
Mm-hmm.
Slack, Gmail, a request for meeting, whatever. Then let me do the last 1% tweak, or saying, like, still I am the person. And then I
Mm-hmm.
know maybe the last time I engaged with that customer, he told me, yeah, I just bought a new car. And then
Mm-hmm.
I can now ask and say, like, hey, what's up? Long time no speak. How's the new car? And then maybe
Mhm.
that AI cannot complete. But I think that definitely the company that will provide that, whether if it will be Gainsight or Catalyst or Gong or
Mhm.
ChatGPT, that company will win B2B SaaS.
Mhm.
The
Okay.
solution for B2B SaaS.
Mhm. Okay. Thank you for that. And thank you for being a part of the DDM podcast and being an awesome guest for us. Thank you for appearing and answering all my questions. And thank you again.
Thank you.